What is up, viewer out there watching this video? Rocks back here, and I want to talk about Project Cars. Now, I have finally gotten past the point where I am a full-out go-kart racer. I've actually progressed into the career a bit more. So I still am a kart racer, but I do have other opportunities for races, such as this one. Here, we're all racing Fords on a closed track. But anyways, I want to talk about Project Cars and how this game is basically a big learning curve. Now, if you go on to any review of Project Cars, I don't think you'll find any review online, in the magazines, anywhere on this game that says that this is an easy game. Because this game, it is pretty friggin' hard, if I do say so myself. I talked to Mad Caesars, the Motorstorm guy I made videos about a few years ago. I talked to Mad Caesars about this game. He said he has no problem with it. Then he joked, saying probably because he's a racing god. But you know, I do feel that this game is definitely one of the harder racing games out there, and it's definitely evident if you look at all the reviews. I don't think you'll find a review that says that this is an easy game. And part of the reason is because Project Cars, after getting a bit of a feel for the game, you can kind of understand that Project Cars isn't really a racing game, but more of a racing simulator, if that makes any sense. And really, there are a lot of things you have to learn if you want to become successful at Project Cars. This right here is one of the earlier races in the game. This is like the first race that's not a go-kart race in the campaign mode. And right here, the difficulty I set it to was 50%. The difficulties are weird in this game. If I set it, or no, not 50%. If I set it to 50%, I win by a lot. If I set it to 60%, which is what was here, it's not 50%. My apologies. The difficulty in this race was 60%. I won by like 13 seconds, which is unrealistic. But if I set the difficulty to like 68, I can't buy my way past third place. So difficulties are weird. It's definitely not, there's definitely not a huge difference between 50% and 60%. Believe me, like 60%, I won by 13 seconds, just like I did in 50%. But if I go up to 68%, I can't get my way past third place. But in this game, there really are some things that I have to learn. This game is definitely a learning curve, and really, I like how in Project Cars, you can tweak every little detail about your game. Everybody says online that if you want to play this game, you need a good steering wheel. You can't play with a controller because this game was made for the wheel, not for the controller, not for the analog stick. And really, I was tweaking everything, all the settings. I was tweaking the steering sensitivity, the brake sensitivity, the throttle sensitivity, and all that, and I was just having no success. I was changing everything in like the high 70s and all that. But then afterwards, I did some more research online. What are some good settings for Project Cars on the controller? And I toned everything down. I have the steering sensitivity at 20%. I have the throttle sensitivity at 20% and everything. And so far, I'm finding that having everything low down and having everything not super amplified is the way to go if you're racing with a controller. But that does not mean that you will be good at this game if you use appropriate settings that suit your racing style, because there are still a lot of things to learn in this game. This is no poor man's game, definitely. Really, there are one of the biggest things that I've learned so far about this game is that you cannot steer while braking. And that has happened a few times already. It might happen here. Every time you want to take a hard right or something, you have to brake, then let go of the brakes and then turn. You can't steer while you're braking, because I don't know if that happens in real life. I'm only 15, I can't drive yet. But this game has a lot of detail that I would assume that's right. You know, I don't think I've ever seen, with the exception of handbraking and drifting, of course, I don't think I've ever seen people steering while braking at high speeds. But this game, though, it's definitely a learning curve. And some people might have it easier than others. No names mentioned. Cough, cough, Mad Caesars. But I'm still trying to get the hang of this game. I've been playing it a bit more. I can say that Drive Club is definitely way easier than this game. Drive Club is so much more easier so much more easier, of course, than Project Cars is, but I'm still having a good time with Project Cars. I'd like to progress through the campaign and everything, but, yeah, that was a quick little race here on the Lakeville Focus Challenge. We're using the Ford Focus RS. It's pretty cool. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Repulsing 2,000 shows like Alaska Gaming. I beat second place by 13 seconds on 60% difficulty, and bye.